In the video, it's all chicks.
Yeah, but eventually they got a couple guys in it, but 4 non-blondes, great. They were only around for a little bit of time, but it was...
Early night? I didn't realize it was that early in the 90s.
It was head by Linda Perry, and what I found interesting when I kind of dug a little, she's the lead singer and the writer of that song, and interestingly, she was later on known for her writing. She wrote for a bunch of artists. She wrote the song "Beautiful" for Christina Aguilera. What You Waiting For? Gwen Stefani. Get the Party Started by Pink. She contributed to albums for Adele, Alicia Keys, Courtney Love. Like, she's crazy, man. Like,
so she's, you know how they always say the man behind the man?
Yeah.
She's the woman behind the woman?
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
Wow.
I thought that was super interesting when I just kind of did a little bit of digging on it. Because, I'll be honest, I didn't know that was a chick singing that song.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought it was a dude.
And that's how you know Frank lives in Denver, because that's how girls are in Colorado.
That's how all the dudes sound.
That's how dudes sound. You gotta start working with plumbers, man.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just surrounded by dude chicks. That's the problem. Nothing but fucking dude chicks up in here.
Too many Prius drivers up there.
It's all Priuses and manginas, Mike. Yeah. You wouldn't understand it. It's crazy. That's why I look forward to this guy running in 2024.
With Biden, you think of a guy staring into the teleprompter like a deer in the headlights. End of quote. Repeat the line.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, I must say, he did test positive for COVID, and I want to, on behalf of the state of Florida, wish President Biden a speedy recovery from COVID. And I also want to wish the United States of America a speedy recovery from Joe Biden.
Yeah.
He wins, sir. You just won the presidency.
You win. Congrats. Take my vote now, please. So, I think you sent me that clip, Mike.
Yeah.
And I texted you about how it was funny that I had just gotten it first, right before you. And then I was just kind of hanging last night, and I stumbled upon this, which... So, I have been saying for a while that I believe it'll be Trump DeSantis, right?
Right.
I'm a big believer in it.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, here we go.
Oh, this hasn't hit the news yet.
No, it isn't. It isn't public, but it will be by the time. It probably won't be fully public until the convention. But the agreement is already there behind the scenes for Trump and DeSantis to run on a ticket in 2024. And that's why all these people talking about DeSantis challenging him, totally false. That's totally fake news.
Beautiful.
The only way anything like that happens is if Trump has a health problem or something else.
Well,
by the way,
I'm beside myself happy right now. This is...
Well, not only that, DeSantis is also insurance. Right now, the only reason why Trump hasn't announced this ticket is while DeSantis is out there, he's also indictment insurance for Trump because Democrats are as scared.
He would win too, yeah.
Of Trump. So they're like, well, if we take out Trump, we're stuck with DeSantis, and maybe we get doubly whacked. So it provides perfect cover. Ultimately, they'll run.
He's got to make sure they're never on the same airplane together.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Don't take an LBJ special trip to Dallas, Texas in November. And you might be okay. So the agreement's already there for 2024 to be a Trump-DeSantis ticket. DeSantis knows that Trump can only serve one term, so that he would be in a position to have two terms himself come 2028. It perfectly aligns for what DeSantis wants to achieve. It also aligns with what Trump wants to achieve. The second aspect of this Trump-DeSantis ticket would be how they govern. That DeSantis would be given a lot of authority over domestic issues and domestic aspects because that isn't where Trump's focus is. Trump's focus is on international relations, of defeating globalists and globalism, of restoring peace and prosperity around the world and at home. And that is where his instincts and skill set excel. It's the one place where DeSantis is frankly...
Listen, Trump, his number one, his only objective is Trump.
Yes.
The only thing he cares about is expanding his name. Now, that being said, he just wants to win. So he will bring in people that do care about foreign policy and will help us out with foreign policy, right? Because he wants to win. But
I
the
actually
only thing Trump cares about is his name.
I agree with you, but I also think that this guy's right on the money, whereas Trump is... I think we've now seen the proof. He was a master internationally. He
was good, but it wasn't even him. It was the people he sent.
For sure. I totally
the people
agree.
He would send delegates. I don't care what anybody says about Kushner. That was a genius move to send a Jew who's your son-in-law to go negotiate with these people in the Middle East.
I'm telling you, man. Great. 4 years as VP for DeSantis, and then an 8-year run. I think we're looking at another kind of Reagan-esque kind of run here.
Dude, he's got...
DeSantis? He's a CIA agent.
Trump has got, like, I'd say 70% of the Republican base, right?
Yeah.
The problem is
he's running.
The problem is you can't win the national election with 70% of the
No,
base.
Mike, I think you're wrong. Again, it goes back to COVID again, and especially if DeSantis is on the ticket, it's game over in my opinion. Maybe. Game over. Dude, no, I am telling you, it's all about
They're not
going
to run Biden. They're not running Biden.
They aren't. No, I actually don't even... I'm telling you, I think Kamala is president before the midterms.
Yeah, no, I think after, but... They're not going to run either one of them for the fucking 2024. 2024 is going to be, I think, I'm actually leaning more
Isn't it crazy?
Polis is gay, but Pritzker's richer.
I don't think you can. You can't run a gay man.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I'm sorry, but you can't.
Pete Buttigieg ruined it.
No, it's not even that.
You should have put somebody more qualified.
We already had the first gay man president with Barack and Big Mike. Okay, it's old news.
I always forget.
Old news, Mike. Yeah, that's why we already forget. It already happened. It was so long ago.
I always achieve the one thing Barack couldn't. I forget about Michelle's penis all the time. Bro, I think they might put her up for the fucking 2024. Man.
I've been saying that for a long time.
She's coming out with a book. She's coming out with a book.
Yeah, no, they're pushing her.
I could see her as like a VP run or maybe a cabinet position.
So I told you this a while back. I think we even have it in the archives. I believe still they're going to push her for the next Supreme Court.
SCOTUS.
Yeah, she's gonna. Whoever's next, they're going to drop someone who's old, and they're going to throw in a Michelle. And look, by the way, she's qualified. I hate to say that. Big Mike.
No,
Big Mike is fully qualified. This man has gone through all the he's gone through all the educational systems, and he has the history. And
let's just say he's got the balls for the job. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
I think she can do it.
Yeah, well, I don't think Roe v. Wade hits as hard to Big Mike as it does to other candidates for the job.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Oh, yeah, I remember when I had an abortion. Back in 89.
Oh, man. Well, they need Big Mike because they need to stack the court or get their side more represented on it because they have to, at some point, go through with the greatest trial of the century, Mike, ever.
The House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack held...
Can we get some water?
I know it! Oh my God!
Water.
So thirsty! I'm so thirsty. Please, Amy. Get Amy some water. Come on.
One of those coolers with the water. The ice. All the water.
I know times are tough in democracy now. You don't have the viewership you used to when Trump was in office. Can we get her at least a DeSantis?
A kiddie pool. One of those kiddie pools. Just soak her like a sponge.
her feet in a bucket of water. It'll just soak up to the mouth.
It'll soak right up to the top. Yeah, like one of those dinosaurs you'd get as a kid.
Why is she always so thirsty?
She's so thirsty.
You know you're going on air.
She's the human personification of chalk.
You've gone on air at the same time every day. Drink a glass of water.
One.
It's been 25 years you've been on the air.
Look, time. I get it. I know you think there's water scarcity and it's climate change. Yeah. You've proven your point. Just have a glass.
We saw Lake Mead. It's fine. You can have a glass.
One glass. You'll be okay. Put an ice cube in it. It'll be delicious.
Splurge with a cube or two.
I'm thirsty just talking about you, Amy.
We just spent 5 minutes talking about how thirsty you are. We don't even know what you were talking about.
I'm parched.
Is global warming only happening in her mouth? Because that is the driest place on earth. What the fuck is going on in democracy now?
They gotta upgrade their interns. Check on the intern. They might be dead. He might have dehydrated. That might have happened.
The Ice Mountain driver couldn't keep up. All right, go ahead, Amy. Tell me what I'm supposed to be scared of.
Emma's sister, she'll get drunk at night, and then she'll wake up and be hungover, and she'll call a bus, and it'll show up at her door, and she'll go outside and get an IV of hydration. Can we get one of those?
Is that a real thing?
Can we get one of those buses over to the studios at Democracy Now? Help Amy Goodman out, please.
We need 2 IVs for Amy, both straight to the jugular. Can we do that?
Both sides of the jaw?
Forget that normal IV. Can we get like a 3/4 inch hose? Like at about 15 to 20 PSI, just fucking,
blast that sucker.
If we get hit about a gallon a minute, we're gonna be all right. Yeah.
All right. Everybody, fill up on some water. Here we go, Amy Goodman. Take it away. Tell us about the most important news. This is the best part, too. This is going to be the most boring subject we've talked about. In
they spent a whole hour on it. They spent a whole hour on it. I couldn't believe it.
This is beautiful.
They spent more time talking about the period of time that they were talking about.
The primetime hearing Thursday night focused on Donald Trump's refusal to take action as the supporters attacked the Capitol January 6th. Lawmakers focused on the 3-hour period after Trump urged his supporters to march to the Capitol and fight like hell.
Let's stop right there. I gotta give it to Donald Trump, man. I gotta give it to Donald Trump. Motherfucker, I don't care how many businesses went bankrupt.
Oh, man.
I don't care how many businesses went bankrupt.
Oh, shit.
I don't care how much money you lost, how many times you failed in life, and I don't care that you became president. You're the most successful man to ever live because they spent $40 million and did a primetime special just to talk about a 3-hour period where you did nothing.
Literally, they go into detail.
Just to talk about how you did nothing.
I never thought about this. That's so funny, dude.
Donald Trump, all you have to do is nothing. And you're the most famous man in the world. You get a prime time hearing about how you literally did nothing.
Minute 147, Donald Trump ripped a 30-second fart. It was heard throughout the Oval Office. It was disgusting.
Witness after witness paraded through this hearing that's costing us millions of dollars, by the way. Prime time. Every witness was just coming in saying, yeah, we told him what to do. He did nothing. So we're here to talk about how he did nothing.
Wow,
Jesus
I didn't even think about
Christ.
that. How that you are right. We're literally talking about how he did nothing for 187 minutes. It's funny. I cut before we go to it because the leading up to it's so unbelievable, but it's just too long to go. But
it's the most devastating 187 minutes. The whole point is that we're doing all of this to just to prove that he did not. They're literally just proving he admitted he did nothing. He still says he did nothing, and we're doing all this to prove he did nothing. In the meantime, we're spending $0, zero time talking about the guy who shot the girl as they're letting people into the fucking Capitol.
The only casualty of the event.
The only casualty of the event, dude. There's that video now of that guy who goes to the door and it's locked. He looks at the camera, and then they unlock the door from the security room.
Yeah. They let him in.
You fucking let these people in.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Sorry, Amy.
Many of them were armed. For the next 187 minutes, Trump refused to take any action to stop the deadly insurrection at the Capitol. We'll spend the hour airing excerpts from Thursday night's hearing.
You know he took a shit at some point during this. Like, you know the guy went and fucking sat on the toilet and took a shit at some point.
Committee Chair Benny Thompson.
They spend 3 hours on primetime TV just to prove that you did nothing. And then the next day, all these news channels spend hours and hours and hours talking about how they proved that you did nothing. Like, you literally just did nothing.
Rent free in their heads, Mike.
In their minds. Oh, God.
Rent free.
Donald Trump is the fucking most successful marketing.
Yeah, he's
whatever
a genius.
You want to call it.
He's a genius. I'm sorry, but he's a marketing genius. He established his own character on SNL for 2 years.
Yes.
Played by Alec Baldwin. Think about that.
And how did he know he was going to shoot some bitch later on?
Hey, people, PSA for everyone out there, PSA. Guns don't kill people, Alec Baldwin does, all right? Never forget, hashtag never forget.
Guns don't kill people. Coke heads with trigger-happy fingers kill people.
That's right. Alec Baldwin, we got you pegged. By the way, does anyone have any proof that Alec Baldwin wasn't at January 6th? I have a feeling he was.
Is he Ray Epps?
Oh! Maybe he was there tailing him to play him in the next, upcoming movie.
Well, let me tell you something. I'll let him in. I get to kill that bitch.
Oh my God! That was a good Alec Baldwin, actually.
Was that all right?
I kind of liked it. Yeah, that was
I haven't heard his voice in a long time.
I think it was spot on. I thought I was talking to Alec for a second. Impressive, folks. Hey, guys,
that's what they tune in for. Bad impressions.
You get a plumber and a delivery driver. It's good stuff, folks. Let's finish off. Amy Goodman, give me some water.
They tested positive for COVID, opened the hearing by speaking from a remote location in isolation.
For the weeks between November election
that's not right
and
there.
January 6th.
I knew we would.
At least if the fucking Republicans did a fucking... If the Republicans do some crazy party where like witch hunt after Joe Biden, at least half of them won't have to do their shit from home because they have COVID.
Because of Zoom. Thank you. You're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the greatest insurrection in the history of America. I got a cold. I'm gonna stay home and lead this thing from a Zoom
man,
call.
It's a bad look.
You know what I mean?
Well, by the way, it's becoming obvious. Only Democrats have COVID. It's funny. I think they tried to pull it off like it's coming back, but it just became comical that you guys realize only you guys have COVID. Striking anyone is
Frank,
obvious.
you were the one that said it. The best vaccine is the red pill. It's the only one that works.
You said it, Mike. I coined it. It's part of the Dude Man podcast, folks. Get the t-shirts, the bumper stickers. It's coming your way.
Frank, I pitched it. You hit it out of the park.
That's
right,
folks.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a team effort.
The only true vaccine is the red pill.
It's the red pill. We gotta get the t-shirts. DudeMan.com. Here we go.
There you go. Finish. I love these Amy Goodman things. We never get through them.
I know, it's the best because we just get too thirsty. We can't handle it, you know. I nearly pass out from dehydration. It's unbelievable.
Was a force to be reckoned with. He shrugged off the factuality and legality, correct, sober advice of his knowledgeable and sensible advisors. Instead, he recklessly blazed a path of lawlessness and corruption, the cost to which democracy be damned. And then he stopped. For 187 minutes on January 6th, this man of unbridled destructive energy could not be moved. Not by his aides, not by his allies,
riveting,
not by the violent chants of rioters or the desperate pleas of those facing down the riot.
Frank, sorry.
Congressmember Liz Cheney, the vice chair of the January 6th committee, accused Donald Trump of refusing to defend the Constitution.
Donald Trump's own White House counsel, his own White House staff.
Oh, I do too. I love Liz Cheney too because her father's the greatest war criminal of the modern era.
Of all time!
Never forget, folks. No! Dick Cheney, his name's Dick. Dick Cheney, he's the greatest war criminal of our time.
Frank.
Never forget.
A bunch of people from Saudi Arabia, a country... A bunch of people from Saudi Arabia attacked our country, right?
Right.
Your father convinced our nation to just start 2 fucking proxy wars in the Middle East, profited billions of dollars from it. Him and his cronies.
Yeah, and his side projects, that's right. Sorry, I didn't mean side projects. I meant black ops military projects. That's what I meant to say. And Halliburton. Never forget Halliburton. We love Halliburton.
Thousands of soldiers, dude. They're military. You know, we lost thousands of military people, personnel. And you're going to sit here and lecture us that January 6th was the worst.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Do you realize your last name is Cheney? You realize that, right? Like, you're speaking to a generation of people who loathe the name Cheney. Loathe it. You guys ruined our country internationally. You set up
realize you came from a sperm and an egg, and that sperm came from the greatest American war criminal of all time.
Dick. He's the modern day Darth Vader. Are you fucking kidding me?
You're literally 50% war criminal.
50% war criminal.
Your mom was in on it too.
Well, look. Here's what kills me is like Liz Cheney. You Dyke? Why don't you go by Dyke Cheney, by the way? Your dad's Dick. You should be Dyke. Dyke
Dick
Cheney.
And Dyke.
Yeah, Dyke
you should
Cheney.
Do the Dick and Dyke show.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
Dyke Cheney,
Democrats, you need to hit up the dude, man. We will fucking...
Dyke Cheney's the funniest name.
Dyke Cheney, the Dick and Dyke show.
It's a political hour on CNN. The Dick and Dyke show.
One talks about how we need to go into the war. He's the Dick. And one talks about how we need to get out. She's the Dyke. It's the Dick and Dyke show.
They're both Cheneys, but they're opposites.
Oh, they both make money either way.
And they both profit off the war crimes.
No, a lot of people will die. They both make money. That's the best part of the show.
Here's my thing about her involvement in this is you're a Cheney, and your rise to prominence in life is based on the fact that your dad has been in political power since the 60s. He's probably involved some of the shadiest stuff we've done since the earliest conception of our government. Like, you are only in your position of power because of the evilness of your father. There's no way you're not evil.
Oh, yes. No, I really believe, dude, that's what it is the only reason you got to your seat is because they looked at you and they're like, oh, she's a Cheney, she'll play ball. That's the only reason.
Or if I don't play ball, the Cheneys will take me out through the Clintons.
Is that what it is? Or the Bushes. Who's worse, the Bushes or the Clintons?
They're all together in the same fucking boat, man. They all made I'm telling you, they all made their gains together.
Who do you think kills you more gently? The Bushes or the Clintons?
Oh, that's funny.
I feel like
Bushes,
Hillary's torturing.
Yeah,
Hillary's torturing you. You know what I mean?
There's no doubt.
Like, if we're going, Game of Thrones is hot now. If we're going Game of Thrones here, the Bushes are like that prostitute who's like stroking the head of the soldier and then slits his throat.
Yes, you're right.
The Clintons are those guys that fillet their people alive.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
the Clintons are
I mean?
way more evil, no doubt about it.
Like, I'd rather be killed by a Bush, You don't see it coming. They're gonna wine and dine you, And then you just go to sleep.
You might get a little sex with a hot chick for a second, but
maybe 6 or 2. You go to sleep, and then your skull just becomes part of the sanctuary.
That's right.
Right next to Geronimo.
Oh my god. Dude, you know what happens is actually you wake up and you end up with an STD. The newest one, Mike, actually.
Tonight, the World Health Organization sounding the alarm on the rapid spread of monkeypox.
The global monkeypox outbreak represents a public health emergency of international concern.
The highest alert level triggered with more than 16,000 cases of monkeypox reported in roughly 75 countries and territories this year. In the U.S., there have been nearly 3,000 cases.
Yeah.
Did they say 16,000?
Yeah.
There's 7 billion people.
I know.
Can you fathom the difference between 16,000 and 7 billion? Like, if I give you $16,000 right now, you can buy a car. If I give you $7 billion, nobody who's ever related to you will ever have to work again. Think about that.
Yeah, nobody cares about it. It's an STD, though, and it will jump to people. I'm telling you, dude. This is the new AIDS. It's the new AIDS.
No, it's not, dude.
It is.
This is in 45 states. Maine joining that growing list this weekend. The majority of the infections have been traced to men who have sex with men.
Yes!
And can spread through direct contact with the infectious rash. Prolonged face.
Wait, my favorite part about this, I sent it to you earlier and we texted about it, is... So there's a new thing now. You can't just say gay men.
No.
Or homosexual men. You have to specify these are men who have sex with other men.
Yes.
Do
you know why?
I do not know why.
Do you know why?
No. Enlighten me, please.
This is where identity politics and the left-wing trans nonsense
I thought it was. That's why I brought this clip up.
This is the science community.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of a good sign. 'Cause this is the science community kind of taking a turn from the trans. Because they're saying if you have sex with a man, even if he says he's a woman, you can get this. Because there's this whole big thing where, like, Frank, if you say you're a woman and I'm a dude who's fucking you, well, I'm not a gay man. I don't got to worry about this. This is for gay men.
Wow, it's funny. It wasn't until you explained it that I actually kind
of... You get what I'm saying?
Now I do. Yeah, actually. That's so
the
funny.
science community is now saying... That's why this monkey... So, do you know why nobody's doing this monkeypox lockdowns or everything like they did for COVID?
Why is that?
Because nobody knows where to go with it. Because if you have a penis... You're gonna give me monkeypox. I don't care if you say you're a man or a woman. So I can't just say gay men,
It's so bizarre, but...
Because I can't say gay men because for the last 2 years I've been telling you that if you're a straight man, you should have sex with trans women because they're real women.
Oh, it's so messed up, man. That you just twisted my mind in a fucking pretzel right there. The language the language. But that's okay. You are onto it, and I'm glad you picked up on what I was angling at.
So one thing they don't talk about is like they're saying this is a global thing. It's not a global thing. It's really only in like countries that allow like bathhouses and shit. Like we're just you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I do actually don't like when they say this is a gay man disease, because it's not men who have sex with men, and this is not a gay man disease. There are gay men who are married. You know what I mean? Like, we give him shit, but Pete Buttigieg and Chasten are not at any risk of this,
right?
Because they're at home with their two kids,
and nor are they a risk to you,
right? As much as we make fun of them and everything, they're not at risk to anybody, as far as I know. If they're actually doing what they say, just going home, being a couple, you know?
Well, look, people I know who grew up during the time of when AIDS really hit the scene, scared the shit out of people. We don't need to name names as far as who was involved with all of this, Dr. Fauci. But they scared the shit out of people, and they started with gay men. You know, they really, like, it's weird how...
Dude, but even AIDS, there's no difference between gay men and straight men, whereas, like, Frank, you and Emma, you guys have been together forever, and as long as you don't cheat on each other, there's almost no risk of any STDs, right? You guys will not get STDs.
Right.
But if you start going to like orgies and fucking 10 different chicks in one night, right?
Okay.
Now you're going to get an STD and get her, right? So that's why I don't like when they call it a gay disease, because it's not a gay disease. The gay men who are married, the gay women who are married, and they're like just with one person, they're not at risk for monkeypox.
Right.
The people at risk are the ones that are living these lifestyles that are, you know.
Well, hey, when it comes to these orgies, you got any numbers or websites that I could...
That's right. You know what I'm saying, though. That's why it's a terrible...
Yeah, well, that's why I think this is a hard sell. But I'd like to keep going with this.
This is why I kind of think we're going backwards, because what the gay community kind of fought for was to be normalized.
No, here's my problem. I keep harping on it because they are ostracizing and villainizing the gay community, and it's specifically
as a whole, like all of them.
Gay men. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a war against gay men. It's bizarre. It's fucking weird. And I'm telling you, the fact that they're saying this disease, monkeypox, hits, they literally have to say for some weird reason, men who have sex with other men, gay men. Like, it's weird. They're going to say it again, I promise.
To face contact or...
No. Because it goes to what is a man.
I know, but trust me, But
it should be. This is only affecting
men. Our society doesn't want men anymore. That's my point. They want to get rid of men. All men who are masculine and men then who are not masculine, men who, you know what I'm saying?
So we should all just be women?
Yes.
Women with penises?
They want to castrate all of us so we don't procreate anymore. I'm telling you. One way or the other. It's either with soy burgers or it's with fucking turning you into a woman.
Actually, it's going to be worse than turning you into a woman. They're turning you into Bill Gates.
Yeah, watch out.
I'd rather be Caitlyn Jenner than Bill Gates.
Wow, yeah. Bigger balls, no doubt.
Bigger balls! Bigger balls, and you can definitely lift more weight. Like, I want to be able to at least do one push-up in case I fall down, you know? Say what you want about Caitlyn. I'm sorry, Caitlyn. No matter what, you'll always be more of a man than Bill Gates. I'm sorry, dude.
And that's right, Bill Gates. You'll always be a bitch. Always.
What is a woman? Possibly Bill Gates. I don't know. Matt Walsh, I answered your question. I don't know.
Bill Gates is a fucking soy boy, bug-eating little bitch, and we all know it.
What is a woman? Well, it's a spectrum. Anything between Bill Gates and Jennifer Aniston. That's a woman. All the Prius drivers are in that spectrum.
Yeah. That's right. Somewhere in there, Greta Thunberg. I can't really tell where, but...
We can't make fun of her being on I think she's on a spectrum.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. That was a... I didn't mean that.
She's
I
on
think
a
she
real
was created in a
spectrum.
lab.
Apologize.
I believe she was created in a lab. You can't prove otherwise. Or she's a hologram. No one has... I don't think she really exists, actually. That's...
I heard it was like a twin situation. She was the leftover of AOC.
Where has Greta Thunberg been lately?
I don't know, floating on an iceberg.
Yeah, she's probably 21. She's drinking, having a good time, you know, living her life, being a real young person.
Did you see that porn star that looks like her?
Oh, God. No.
I saw,
of course.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Of course.
Dude, this chick looks exactly like her, and she's cleaning up, dude, making so much money. And all the videos are like, fuck Greta Thunberg.
Oh, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, it's weird.
See, like, now I think you'd make a fortune being a guy who looks like Hunter Biden doing porn. I think that would be, like, the best business, or, like, you know, or even looking like Joe Biden if you were an old guy.
I really need, like, a short, fat, bald Italian to make it big. So I can just fucking clean up on OnlyFans. All you fucking short, fat, bald Italians, man. Somebody do something. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. It's about time we had our day.
Timid physical contact. A new study from the New England Journal of Medicine found that transmission was suspected to have occurred through sexual activity in 95% of the persons with infection.
In addition to the increase in the number of cases, is the concern that this is going to go beyond the current social network of high-risk individuals, and that we're going to start looking at this to become generalized across the population.
On Friday, the CDC confirmed the first 2 U.S. cases of monkeypox in children.
So, how?
Where? No, more, Frank, no,
wait,
more importantly, where?
Well, let's finish this off here, Mike. There's
Where
a little
in the
key piece of information going on right now.
Which some health experts say could have happened through holding, feeding, or sharing items like bedding.
Wow.
Both of those children are traced back to individuals who come from the men who have sex with men community, the gay men community. Those children.
You don't
They don't know what to say. Dude, they don't know what to say. They don't know what to say. It's so funny. They woke themselves into a corner.
Groomers.
Yeah.
This is Groomer Central, dude. We're entering groomer territory with this shit. Seriously. We have the first 2 confirmed child cases of monkeypox. This thing only transmits between gay sexual use.
No, that's not
Holy
true.
Shit.
It's the most commonly through gay sex, but it's really like just if you touch the rash. So if you have close contact with a kid, kids climb all over you.
Okay, all right, yeah, I know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying they're having sex with kids.
I'm not
I don't want to go that far.
I'm not
I don't wanna
either.
go that
I'm just
far.
saying, dude, this is a bad look for the community.
It's just weird that there's 2 cases in kids. One is Washington D.C., super liberal, and the other one's in California, super liberal.
And gay parents.
You know what's really funny? You know who has 0 cases of monkeypox? Montana. How many you know from Montana? 0. They all moved to San Francisco.
Yeah, man. You're right, though. You're seriously right. What bothers me about this is the kids are now involved.
Every man I ever met from Montana made me feel like a and I never fucked a man. I just felt like a woman compared to them.
I just think, dude, that now the kids are involved. Wow, that's bad news. That honestly is a bad look.
It's not even a deadly. It's nothing. It's literally nothing.
This is just an onslaught on this community, man. It's blowing my mind that they're doing this.
What do you think their goal is?
There's a battle against men. And they're destroying the man. I'm telling you, I see it everywhere. Look in advertisements. Look at commercials.
You think they're going after gay men because, like, the gay and the lesbian community kind of
I said
themselves?
This. It's the Modern Family effect. Gay men
became the hierarchy.
Well, they became homeowners.
Yeah.
And people who could kind of provide and create a normal family.
That's true. Look at Tim Dillon, indistinguishable from a white man. A straight white man.
I just what I find funny about it is there's just a there is battle against manliness and masculinity. There has been for over a decade now, maybe longer. I distinctly remember the change. We grew up with Home Improvement, right?
Yeah, great show.
And it was a show about a man who was running a home improvement TV show while also raising a family and the difficulties of the two, and it was relatable to everybody at that time. I don't see that anywhere anymore. I don't see that kind of programming. And we've entered a weird stage now where man is no longer in the equation. I've talked about it with you with the Disney Plus stuff. What is their narrative now? You don't have two gay men who are raising the child. No, it's two lesbians. All the movies, it's two lesbians. It's never two men. They've eliminated men. It's so weird.
So okay. Do you think it's because I haven't seen a poll? I haven't seen the polls on it. Are gay men voting Republican? Do you think the gay men are going more conservative?
I never thought about that, but maybe it's possible.
I bet you. I never seen the number. I bet you if you look at the numbers, because more like gay men and lesbians, I guarantee you, because they're coupling up, right?
Yeah.
Like you get married, you have kids, you become a. Look at Dave Rubin,
Well,
like,
look, you become a homeowner. You don't want high taxes and high regulations and
as you just get older, dude. When I was in college and broke, I thought Bill Gates should give me money. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Man,
totally.
But then when you have your own job and everything, it's like, oh, I get it. Yeah, I don't want them to tax But maybe that's what it is that the gays and the lesbians, they got the gay marriage thing. They're adopting kids.
You know what? Actually, what got me was when I learned that my high taxes are not going towards fixing the potholes in the roads, right? Yeah. Or improving any element of my living situation. My taxes were going towards inclusive equity bills that were improving the jobs for all the retards around.
Dude, what's really killing me is you talk to like these couples. I'm talking about gay couples, right? Who have kids and they're in school and everything. They're the most infuriated about like the sexual talk in classes. More so than us.
I don't think anyone wants that shit in there, man.
Like I've heard a few of them talk about how leave the kids alone. Right. Like I was gay. I knew I was gay. They're gonna figure it out on their own.
Right.
Nobody needs to confuse the ones that are already confused. Because dude, some are just confused, right? There's people that know they're not. There's people that know they are, and then there's people that are confused. And some are gonna go one way, some are gonna go the other way, right?
Yeah, I know. I try not to go down this route all the time because a lot of conservative stuff goes down, and they're obsessed with it. There's a lot of clips out there. It's crazy what's going on.
Yeah.
It's true. You're right though.
It shouldn't confuse the kids.
That's the problem. You're bringing in the kids.
Yes.
It bothers everybody. Leave the kids out.
I know a lesbian for a very long time, very intimately, who talked about when she was a kid, she played with the boys. She played with the boys' toys. She always fought her parents. She swore she thought she was a boy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
She always did this. She was a sports, everything. And then when she went to college, she joined the softball team, and she fell in love with an older woman, the coach, or like the teacher coach, no, the student coach, was it? You know what I'm talking about?
Are you describing a lady fella? Or
yeah, it's a woman. No, it's a woman. No, it's a woman. She fell in love with her like this assistant coach or whatever.
Right.
It was an older woman, and just kind of like taught her that you're not a man, you're a lesbian. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does.
So that's a person I know for a fact who she talks about all the time. How if somebody would have told her as a kid, no, you could be a man, we could turn you into a man, she would have taken it 100%. But now she's very happy she did it.
Sure.
Because she's married to a woman and they've adopted 2 kids. Mm-hmm. And it's... Actually, no, they didn't adopt. They did like the sperm donor.
Oh. Wow.
You know what I mean?
Who's the guy?
So
oh, man.
Dude, now the way they do it is the one woman has both the kids, but one of the eggs is from the other woman.
Oh, so it's not how my wildest fantasy imagines it.
No. Pretty much, some dude unknowingly jerked off into a tube. They picked him out of a catalog.
Oh.
and in 2 separate times, they used his sperm to impregnate 2 different eggs.
No,
one from
really?
each woman. And then the woman gave birth at 2 different times, obviously.
You're saying that it's not like a stud, and he gets the phone call, and he's like, "I'll be right there,"
dude,
and he takes a shower, and then
the way they talked about
it's the 2 ladies, they're wearing
Frank,
some lingerie,
the way they talk about it,
and they pop up in the champagne, and he's like, "All right," and then the
way they talked about, dude, the way they talked about him, he's a stud. The way they talked about him, he's a stud.
You gotta be a
because
stud.
They give you like the stats of the sperm, dude. Like,
we're talking like horse breeding here, folks.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. You want to have the big guy, right?
They said it was a flat rate. I didn't believe it, dude. I didn't believe it. You know, like I've seen Matthew McConaughey. There's no way my sperm and his sperm are going for the same price.
Get out of here. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you get Tom Cruise walking in there? No, nobody wants Tom Cruise, actually.
Yeah, no, listen, if you got to get synchrony, you're getting my sperm. Synchrony bang, yeah, the fucking...
Synchrony?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have synchrony over there?
Who?
Yeah, so if you need something done on your house, and you got no credit, you're just in the ghetto, you go through Synchrony Bank, they'll just approve anybody.
Wow. That's interesting. Good to know. You never know when you are. I always say to Emma, whenever we see a homeless guy on the street, I always say we are 1 paycheck away.
Oh, always.
Always.
That's how you know you're American.
1 paycheck away.
Yeah, we live better than anybody else, but we're 1 month away from worse than you.
1 paycheck away to being like, you got any change?
Did you see that story going around about the Mexican fisherman?
I did not, no.
It's a great story.
Enlighten.
The story is there's an American fisherman and a Mexican fisherman. And the Mexican fisherman goes out for half a day, he gets what he needs to feed his family, and he comes back. And the American goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, I got enough food, so now I'm going to go home, I'm going to hang out with my family, spend time with my kids, and enjoy the food." The American goes, "No, you should go out all day." He says, "Why?" And the American says, "You go out all day, you catch double what you need so you can sell the rest. And you keep doing that until you could buy a fleet. And then you buy a fleet and you keep going until you buy until you have a conglomeration that you could put on the market."
Wow.
And then once you put on the market after 25 years, you could sell it. And now you could retire." And he goes, and the Mexican fisherman says, "Well, what do you do after that?" And he goes, the American says, "Well, now you could relax and spend time with your family." You get it? The whole point is,
wow,
you didn't have to do all that, man. You just had to catch half as much fish, what you needed, spend time with your family.
Yeah.
It made me think about us because of all the money our parents spent on everything they spent on us, right?
Yeah.
There is nothing I treasure more. I swear to God, dude, there's nothing I treasure more than working with you guys landscaping.
Yes, that was some of my best memories, actually.
You know what I mean?
For sure. No doubt.
And that's why like, did our uncle become a millionaire off the business? Is he selling it on the stock? Can you buy trades on the stock market? No. But there are generations that just have memories working there, right? We worked with our grandpa. We learned more about him than most people learn about their grandpa. He got to teach us more than most grandparents get to teach their grandkids.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so, like, the value from that was more than money could ever buy. Right?
For sure. You could never read it in a book, actually.
It's better to be the fisherman that goes home to your family at the end of the day than be the fisherman who, after 30 years, has all the money in the world and 9 kids with 8 different women. None of them know you. They all hate you. They all hate you.
That's interesting. Our family really was built on the whole helping each other out, and everybody kind of filled that role, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Remember the sidewalk, the patio?
Yeah.
Like everybody showed up. What did it cost our parents? They bought the cement and the beef sandwiches for everybody.
Yeah.
And they got a fucking sidewalk next to their house with a fucking cement patio.
That's right. It's possible we'll end up as a society going back towards that. We did drift, but I don't know.
No, because they normalized moving away. Not only normalized it, it's what you're supposed to do.
You really think that? Because
the truth. If you move away, no matter what you do, you're gonna build relationships. The relationships that are near you, right?
Right.
And so when you move to another city, you move far away across the country, like, you have to build relationships with the people around you to survive. So you have to disconnect from the people, from your family back home. Maybe not fully, but at least somewhat. There is a loss.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I don't know. We come from a family of travelers and people who, left what they knew to explore unknown.
But they all moved together. That's the difference.
That is different, yeah.
Remember, we used to come to Nona's house, and it was like every house on the block was related.
I've described this to people out here, and it is shocking to many, honestly. Yeah, the block with everybody on it.
We used to come to our grandma's house, and they'd be like, "You guys need a haircut," and we would walk 7 houses down to our grandma's sister's house.
That's right. Yeah,
and she would cut our hair.
Yeah.
Like, that is no joke.
Those are good times, man.
Our neighbor right now grew up on the farm next to my grandma in Italy.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
And we're not related, but they just grew up in the same family, like, next to each other. Yeah.
Well, now we're spread out, man. That's how it is, I guess. There's.
I think that's the problem, though. You separate people from their family, and then it's easier to manipulate them. Because now you're going to listen to your buddy who's listening to his buddy, and everybody's watching CNN. It's easier to manipulate,
You get these little bubbles, little societal bubbles, and like your little liberal places.
Well, I always think, like, you think back to the family, you always got the guy who's super crazy on the left, you always got the guy super crazy on the right,
yeah.
And you need that in the family. Because you need the guy when there is a deadly virus that tells that everybody's okay, we do need to mask up and lock in. You know what I mean? But then you need the guy who's like, no, this is nothing, and people, you know what I mean? You need everybody, and it's But the thing is like, dude, like in our family, it happened just today. Like, it's very easy to sit around the table with your dad, your uncle, your neighbor, and your grandma and speak your true mind. Even if it's against what all of them think.
Right.
Because they're going to love me tomorrow, no matter what I say. You know what I mean? Even if I, tell them how to fuck off. Right? Like, but that's the difference. You know, if you're in Denver where it's all friends that you've known for 3 years, you're not going to say what you really think. It's hard.
That is true. Yeah, you will be a little bit more guarded. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
You know, look at Nona. That's how she talks. She watches Italian news. She talks to her sisters, and then she talks to her son, and then she talks to her grandson. and she makes a decision off the combination of all of that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's smart. You don't need really much more. I think the more influence you have, the worse it is, honestly, man. There's so
Especially the more you have people who don't care about you, really.
Yeah.
We gotta go back to where, like, when I give you advice, Frank, I don't want nothing from you. I just want you to have the best life ever. So if I'm giving you advice, it's just what I truly believe, and you know it. You know?
Yeah.
So that's what we got to go back to. Is the people that don't want nothing from you.
Very true, Mike.
I always say, like, even your parents, they do want to brag about you. So nobody gives you that totally straight shot like your grandma. You know, she's too old to sugarcoat. What she told me today, I'm the worst painter. I tried to paint a room for her. When I left for work the next day, she painted it over, you know?